What's up guys, Henry NWR Free here with a new video for you today, and today we're going to take a look at the Motorized Railway Yong Bao. Looking at Yong Bao's box, it is quite interesting with the Great Race packaging right there and the Thomas & Friends Motorized Railway logo in the left corner. It really is an odd thing. It is smaller than I thought it was going to be, and so, yeah. See him all around, there's some instructions behind there. Also, we can see some of the other engines and why you should play with Thomas trains. You have Emily, Henry, Diesel, Victor, and Yong Bao there. Yong Bao new. And yeah, now we'll see him when he's out of the box. The papers inside are instructions on how to install the battery, one in English and one in Spanish. For size comparison, here is Yong Bao matched with a Thomas of the Playrail version and as well as the Trackmaster 2.0. Even though they have different sizes, Yong Bao is considerably smaller, especially for being a tender engine, which I just find is outrageous, honestly. Visually, Yong Bao is pretty interesting. He's missing some of his details, obviously. I mean, he only has half the tiger or lion or whatever it is on the back of his tender, but he has the dragon up top, but doesn't have it colored in. But something I've noticed with all these details, they aren't stickers. They're actually embedded into the plastic, which is pretty nice, or to at least finally put stickers. Either way, they make nice grooves into the work, and they feel structured. They don't feel like they're going to come off really easily. However, he's lacking a lot of details. But I really like that face. They really did a good job on the face, I think. But look how short that tender is. Oh my gosh. Not to mention, only 3 wheels on the bottom. I feel like that's standard, and that's Trackmaster 2.0, but like hardcore. Another thing I would also like to know is that this motorized switch right here has a catch. So you turn it on and off, if I can do it with one hand. But it catches it on the way off, which is really interesting. Now let's perform some tests with Yong Bao, since he is very different compared to our other motorized railway engines, and this actually being a motorized railway, not Trackmaster Tomy. Let's actually see how he compares. Let's see how he works on the Trackmaster stop and go track with it down. Gets stuck, just like Trackmaster 2. The entire way. His switch is also very fidgety as well. See? Barely even moved it, and he's ready to go. So yeah, we found out he doesn't have a strong motor right there, and obviously he can't even go over the track. So it's Trackmaster 2.0 again. Another very, very peculiar thing is that he cannot couple up to these trucks, even though having a similar coupling hook. Every time I try to hook him up, and I'm going to try to do this my best with being able to hold the camera, it just doesn't want to go unless the disc breaks away and gives, because of how small that opening is and how narrow his is. So this isn't looking too good. Now I'll have to try it with some Trackmaster 2.0 trucks. With the Trackmaster 2.0 trucks, he can couple up, but it's very difficult. What you have to do is pretty much take that hole right there and put it vertical to that one. So I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, but I'll come back to you. And here he is coupled up to the trucks. It's a very awkward process, and it doesn't feel like it really wants to fit. And it's weird because these are the replacement for the Trackmaster range in their respective countries that they're sold in. So why are they able to couple up to Trackmaster 2.0 trucks and not the original Tomy trucks? That just makes no sense to me. Also, he can pull 12 Trackmaster 2 trucks. Some with load, by the way. And he gets hung up on the points a lot, I've figured out as well, too. But that one little AAA battery is doing a lot of tugging, even though he does get caught up on his points a lot. So, conclusion. What do I think of the Motorized Railway Yong Bao? The Motorized Railway as a whole is a very interesting line. This is the Trackmaster 2.0 replacement, pretty much, of other countries such as India, China, Brazil. Those are just the few that I know of, and I think in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries, mostly. But it's pretty much in a lot of the regions where they have the collectible railway range. But and pretty much South America and Asia is their primary market. But either way, Yong Bao here is pretty interesting, being the first one of the range that I have, and maybe even the only. I don't know. This is a really rare find, and I found it on Amazon for $15 in the United States. You probably can find it there yourself if you're really that interested in it. But would I advise it, honestly? Honestly, it's just, I don't know. This is the only way you can get Yong Bao in the motorized line, but he's just so odd and different. Honestly, I would recommend him if you're a huge collector of the battery operated trains and you just want something new to add to your collection. However, I don't think it's a must have. I don't think you need to go out spend that $15 to have. Personally, I'd rather spend $15 toward a Playrel James or Thomas in that aspect where they're about $20 when this one's 15 for just a small little engine that's not very accurate to its actual real life counterpart. It's just a really weird engine overall. However, I do think it's a little fun engine, and I really look at the line, the Motorized Railway, as a beginner or like into these. I feel like if they advertise this as a beginning range for these, I feel like that'd be fine, but they're not doing it that way. They're doing this as this is the only way to buy these engines in their country, and I don't know, I don't like that personally. I think these are really cool for like a beginner way of learning how to use battery operated trains, but other than that I don't think it's really that good. Personally, I think it's really nice to add to your collection, but I don't think it's a must have. So if you feel like you can live without Yong Bao and the Motorized Railway, more power to you. And that's probably my view on the entire range, honestly. So anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you so much for helping me review this item. It's just a weird item. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a good day.